So hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you this super easy natural makeup look that you can use for all occasions, any event, work, whatever, girls' day, girls' night. This is something that's super easy, super quick. You don't have to worry about putting eyeshadow on, none of that extra junk. So I hope that you guys enjoy and get ready for a super natural dewy look. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to moisturize. I'm using the Kyle's Ultra Face Cream right here. This is what I'm gonna use. So during the winter, my skin gets extremely dry and it gets extremely irritated. So I wanna make sure that my skin is ready and prepped. My face is already clean, so no issues there. And we're just gonna rub it in really good all over the face. And for some reason my forehead gets extremely dry, so definitely want to focus on having a really good, like, moisture rich moisturizer when doing your makeup in the winter. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is our brows. This should not be complicated, but I'm going to break it down for you guys in case you don't know what to do. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Dip Brow in dark brown. And I'm going to take an angle brush to do this. Okay, so I'm starting in the middle of the brow at the bottom, and I'm literally just lightly tracing that line and extending. Just like that. I'm going to follow through with the rest of the brow. Really softly, just like that. And then we're going to take a little bit more product. And now we're going to sculpt the top. And I know some people like to use a pencil. It's the exact same method. Very light strokes. Just following the shape of your natural brow. And as you can see, I didn't go back in for any more product. I'm literally just filling in what I see. And your eyebrows don't have to be identical, but you want them to look as identical as possible. And of course you can always we're gonna go back in and clean this up with concealer, so don't worry if you make mistakes. That's the number one thing. People kind of like quit after they make one mistake, but concealer is your best friend. You can literally go back in and fix anything that you've messed up. And there we have our brows. So now the brows are on, we're gonna clean these up. We're gonna use some concealer. The concealer I'm using is the Huda Beauty in the shade Cookie Dough. So what you're gonna do now is you're going to trace right underneath that brow. Just like that. And you're gonna pull that concealer down. Just like that. And as you guys can see, I'm holding the brush completely flat against my skin as I'm tracing this brow line. Just like that. That's how it should look. Then we're going to trace above the brow. And I'm pulling that concealer up so it blends into my foundation. Now, I like my brows to be dark because my hair is so dark, but I don't make my eyebrows black. So now we're gonna go ahead and put more concealer on the eye. This is gonna act as our base for whatever we do on our eyes. With that same brush. You don't need a new brush. Just use the same brush. And that's it. Now we're just gonna take like a little fluffy brush and we're just gonna blend this out some. And this is just so we don't have any harsh lines and so that the concealer doesn't set weird. That's what it should look like. And I'm just blending it out where I put it above the brow. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do our foundation. I have a couple of choices of foundations that I wanna do. I either wanna do the Urban Decay or I wanna do the NARS, which my go-to is NARS, but with the Urban Decay one, it actually feels light and it's more like skin to me. So because it's gonna be a natural look, let's do the Urban Decay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this right onto my foundation brush so I don't get too much product on my hands. So we're just gonna tap where we want our foundation to go. And it should look like that. But of course we're gonna blend this out. I like to do the patting method because I feel like it gives me more coverage without having it look splotchy and heavy. So I like to pat this in. I make sure I get under my eyes as well. See, look, it just looks like skin, and that's what we're going for. We want a natural look, but still enhancing. And of course, I'm gonna bring it down to my neck because I want this to blend. Okay, and there we go. That's our base. It's not too heavy. Our skin still looks like skin. Now, if you have like a lot of blemishes that you want to cover, before you even do your foundation, you're gonna do your concealer. Like, I wanna stress how important it is to conceal those dark marks that you don't wanna show. Like, I have a dark mark here. It doesn't really bother me because I know that the rest of the foundation and the concealer that I'm gonna put on is going to cover that. But if you have a lot of dark marks, really dark under eyes, you wanna make sure you correct and you conceal before you do your foundation. So now I'm gonna go back in with my concealer and I'm gonna use, again, that Huda Beauty Cookie Dough Concealer. And I'm not gonna use a lot. I'm not gonna go crazy with this because again, this is a natural look. So I wanna put it here. I want it here. And I want it here. Just like that. I'm also gonna put a little bit here and a little bit on my chin. I don't need to put it up here because I've already done that step with the concealer covering the brow on top. And this is where a lot of people go wrong and it comes out looking very, very heavy. So I'm gonna use that brush, blend this out. And again, as you can see, I'm using a tapping motion. This isn't to spread. I want it very focused in one area. See? Just very focused in this area. I'm just patting it upwards because I want it focused in this area. We're gonna do the same with the eye, and we are patting. And I'm bringing it upwards because I want to look awake and I want my face to have that siren look. So as you can see already, my skin looks awake and that's what we want. We want a very natural look to where we look awake. And you always want to blend it to where it's seamless. So if you don't feel like it's blended out enough, it might not be. Just go ahead and keep patting it and keep doing your thing. No one ever said too much blending is horrible. Like, you want it to look blended. And the one thing about this Huda concealer, it's very thick, so you don't need a lot, and I feel like I used too much, but that's okay because I'm gonna rock this anyway. We're gonna go back in with that foundation brush, and we're just gonna pat right where we have that concealer coming together with the foundation. Okay, so your skin should start to look like this. It's still very glowy. That's what we want. So next I'm going to set my under eye, and everything I've highlighted with that concealer with some Laura Mercier translucent powder. I have not used this stuff in years. So I'm going back to the basics and giving this another try. I'm gonna use that same brush that I just blended my concealer with, because this is an all-around good brush. This brush is a Morphe E20 brush, and I just love it because it can set, it can blend, just give you everything that you need, honey. I'm also going to take this on my eyelid because my eyelids get super, super oily. See, already a difference. And I didn't go in and add any extra product. Whatever's left on the brush, that's what I'm using right now. Okay, now let's get into some contour, shall we? Because after foundation and concealer, you look very, very flat, and you're gonna want to add that color back to your face. So what I'm gonna use is, I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Stay Fixed the Fix. This is powder, but it's a foundation, and it makes my skin look amazing, and I use it as my contour. This is what it looks like. This is the shade 70WY, and I'm going to add that exactly where I contoured. Look at that. Oh, it just makes the skin look so flawless. If you wanted to use this as a foundation, you can, but I'm not really into the whole powder as a foundation. I just can't do it. Look at that. Look at that skin. Then I'm going to take a little bit on the temples and a little bit on that cheekbone. And that's what it should start to look like. Just like that. Again, the temple. And then the cheekbone. Yes, yes. I'm also gonna put this on the bridge of my nose. Well, not the bridge, but the side of the bridge. So we're gonna contour the nose. And then we're also going to contour the eye. So we're gonna lift up, and you see where we left off that bridge right here, the nose? We're just gonna take it over. So this is gonna add some dimension to our eyes. Now I'm gonna go in with a just a regular powder brush. There's nothing on this brush. I just want this to blend out a little bit. I don't really like to look too ashy, which I'm sure no one does, but I just feel like going over everything, blending everything together kind of softens the look. Okay, and that's how it should look. This is what we should be looking like. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our mascara. I'm using the Better Than Sex mascara. This is my favorite mascara. I've been rocking with this mascara for 10 plus years, baby. Let's go. Now, if you don't like eyelashes, this is where you can kind of like stop. Not stop, because you're gonna have to add like your lip gloss and all that other good stuff. But if you don't like lashes, then you're gonna skip this next step, because I'm going to be applying some of my favorite lashes that are good for like just every day. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my bottom lash line as well. Well, not my lash line, but my bottom lashes. And now I'm gonna go ahead and apply my lashes. The lashes I'm using are Prima lashes in Cis. These are the short ones. But these are like my favorite go-to just natural lashes for every day. I love, love, love this company. They are on the higher side, like pricey wise, but it's worth it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our lash glue and we are applying it directly to the lash line. So it's not on our lashes, it's above our lashes. It just sets it off, baby. Okay, our lashes are on. You can leave them alone. Now, I'm just gonna go back in and kind of define. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our highlight. I'm using Oh Darling by MAC, one of my favorite highlighters. I don't know if you can even still get this anymore. I don't remember, I'm not sure. But for a long time, it wasn't available. So this goes here, just like that. We're also gonna put it on our temples to make us look glowy. We're gonna put it on our nose. This is kind of where I just keep it on my nose. And now we're gonna do our lips, and I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and put my lips on. I used the MAC Chestnut Lipliner and the MAC Gloss in Blissful. Everything just looks like skin, and I really like the fact that it's glowy, it's dewy, it's not cakey. But just remember, when you're using a concealer, try to use a concealer that's like moisturizing and not too thick, which is kind of what I did here. But again, I like that full coverage look. So it is what it is.